The following program may contain adult language and mature subject matter and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Welcome to Canadian Cigar Scene with your hosts Kevin Newell and Julian Luke, right here on Reality Radio 101. To contact us live by telephone 905-725-1907. Toll free in North America 1-866-905-7325. Worldwide 1-866-656-5477. Email us, realityradio101@yahoo.com. And now, your hosts of Canadian Cigar Scene, Julian Luke and Kevin Newell.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Canadian Cigar Scene. I'm sitting here with my compadre, Julian.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Great to be back.
Absolutely. Weather has
take a turn for the worse.
Turned for the worse.
It has.
Winter
it
is
has.
here in Canada, Ontario, Oshawa. It's ugly out there, people.
You know when you got your Cousin Eddie hat with the ear flaps going, it's winter in Canada.
Easy there, mister. We haven't introduced you yet.
He's chomping at the bit.
Yeah, he is.
It's like being in the control room with Secretariat.
That's right. Counting with clip-clop here. 1, 2. Jew, welcome to the show, everybody. What do we got? Why are we doing this show again?
This is all about our 2016 plan to educate the Canadian consumers about what is happening in the tobacco and cigar industry.
That's right. It's always about education, isn't it, Jew?
Always.
All right, for sure. First off, man, nice spike in listenership last week. I was really impressed with that. I mean, Ecuador, Norway, Portugal, Russia, Egypt, England, Germany, Denmark, Aruba.
You know Dan Moore is going to claim pap. That was all due to him.
Yeah, for sure. Dan Moore. He's a beaut, though. That was a good show.
That was a good
last
show
week. Yeah, absolutely. Playoffs last weekend. Football. Oh, my God. It was wacky, eh?
Next.
Sorry.
I think you better introduce our guest, then talk about football.
Anybody watch football? Gary, do you watch football?
I do.
You got to be a Jets fan, right?
No.
Giants?
No.
You're a New Yorker. What
I
are
know.
you?
I always like Dallas, but
What?
yeah, I know.
Oh
or
my
Buffalo,
God.
but
Yeah,
forget them too.
Yeah, you got to love the Bills, man. I'm a Bills fan. Hey, it was a wacky weekend, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati just sort of shot themselves in the foot or what?
Seattle winning by, what was it, 1 point?
Oh, missing a 23
field
yard
goal? I can't believe that,
laces
man.
Laces out, you know. But,
Yeah.
I mean, still, I don't care if the laces are out or not. How the fuck do you miss a 23-yarder?
And he's getting like $40 million
That's a
every
pro.
2 years.
I know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But, hey, shit happens, and that's playoffs. What are you laughing about?
I think you better introduce him.
Laces out, man. Laces out. Ace Ventura. Come on.
I was thinking more of USS.
I don't know.
Laces out, it's a song. Anyway, since he's already opened his pie hole, as we call it, he's shaking his head. I'd like to say welcome our next guest here, Simon Timperley from House of Horvath.
Thank you.
Woo! That's all you got.
Great to be here.
That's all you got, eh?
He's like that frog on Bugs Bunny. As soon as the microphone went on, he did nothing.
Yeah, that's classic. Simon, you are our rep for House of Horvath.
That's right. Yeah. I'm a sales rep for House of Horvath. 10.5 years now, man.
10.5
years.
Driving around, riding the rails. What's the? We've had a few of the guys in from House of Horvath. You know, Simon, Les,
Omar.
had, Omar in as well.
Paulo. Yeah.
Yep, Paulo. What's the deal? What's the day in the life of a rep? I mean, really, at the end of the day, what do you do?
Basically just drive around sales calls and sell cigars, man.
It's like good humor with cigars.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of our call cycle is your chain retailers and independent DSDs. So, Max Milk, SOs, things like that, right? That's really the majority of what we do.
Yeah.
You know, sell our pom-poms that are used to be Swisher, unfortunately not anymore. Thank you, Canadian government. But yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's more C-stores and gas stations than it is. How many of the classic tobacconists do you have as your clients?
Now I only have, technically 4, but I don't count one of them because he's more of a glorified smoke shop, but technically 4.
Okay.
But my 2 big ones are obviously you guys, and I have another store.
What's your other store?
Cigar Bodega in Unionville is my other big tobacconist. Right?
Sarah.
Sarah Isles, yeah, fantastic. I've known her since I was 17 years old.
It goes back a long way. But, but Simon, you got to understand, is a millennial. And unlike you or I, which, like, after high school got a job and stayed with it, ask him where he's worked. Ask this guy where he's worked.
Yeah, wherever you worked.
Where have I worked? McDonald's, 2.5 years, your classic job when you're 15.
Yep.
Then I upgraded to Starbucks when they first came into Canada.
Okay.
Worked at a couple stores there for, I think, about 2.5 years.
Barista?
I was a barista and then a shift supervisor, my friend. I was a solid guy.
So you were climbing the corporate ladder
That's
at that
right.
point.
That's right. And then I left Starbucks. I went to Business Depot, not Business Depot. Office Depot. Office Depot for 1 month, 4 weeks exactly on the night crew. I couldn't adjust to sleeping in the daytime, so I was honestly losing my mind. And thank God I got another job after 4 weeks. I went to American Express, did customer service there for 13 months, I think. And then I went to Ford, did customer service for the U.S., the entire U.S. for Ford. That was brutal. three and a half years of that.
So as we could actually vouch for this, his customer service sucks.
Yeah. He didn't do a very good job of climbing the corporate stir stick at Starbucks, did he?
Yeah, no. Well, Starbucks, you know what? It was a great job. We had like a little click there. And then basically our manager left, and then our other manager left. And even though our store was like the 4th highest sales in Ontario, they brought in a manager who, because I guess there was a couple people that worked with us that they didn't like, and she was just a fucking sergeant, man. And I never forget the way I quit. She was such a bitch. I went in one day on a Sunday because I got a huge fight with a customer. He was just being ridiculous. So I'm the manager, right? So I'm the shift supervisor. My buddy works for me, right? Works with me, sorry. He comes in the back. He's like, hey, man, some dude came in with half of a Venti Frappuccino, right? Completely drank. He didn't even have it. He said he drank half of it, mixed alcohol with it, then threw it out because it didn't taste good, and he wanted a free one. Normally, we'd say just to get it, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck off. Like, you're not even going to bring it back. So I'm like, hey, man, just go tell him no, he doesn't have the cup. As soon as I say that, I start washing up because I know, obviously, he's going to ask for a manager. So I come out, and the guy's this big, weird-looking dude. He's only got, like, 2 fingers on one hand, right? Oh, yeah. He's hammered, and he starts going at me. And I remember I was only 19 years old, so, young, dumb, and, so he's going at me, and I'm kind of standing there, and I'm getting angry. And at one point, I just picked the phone up, and I threw it at him. Because he starts going off at me. He's in my face, and he's like just going that, if I don't give him a free drink, he's going to call head office, get me fired, and all this. So finally, I said, fine, let's fucking call them. And I grabbed the phone, and I threw it at his head, but the cord wasn't long enough, so it stopped the phone, like a couple inches short of his head. I'm probably lucky that happened.
Oh, yeah.
And then he left, and I remember there's a whole lineup of people waiting because this guy's yelling at me, and we're going back and forth. And every customer out there coming up, and they're just like, that was awesome, man. And they're just like shaking my hand and stuff. But anyway, so I remember the Sunday, back to my story, I'll make it shorter. I went in, I tell my manager, this new woman, I said, hey, I got to talk to you. And I tell her what it is. She goes, oh, good. I thought you were going to quit. Because a lot of people were just started quitting. They fired one of my best friends that I worked with there for no reason. exactly 1 week later on a Sunday, I walk in the back and I'm like, hey, I got to talk to you. She's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I quit. Yeah, and I gave her no notice. I felt bad about that slightly. But,
No notice.
yeah, she was a bitch. But yeah, and then I went to Office Depot for a month, then American Express, then Ford for 3.5 years, where I met my wife. Yeah, that's.
You did say you dabbled in the chip business for.
I
a while.
did. I left
Did you
Ford. Yeah, I left Ford, and then I went
This
to.
was-
That was my first, envoy into real
This is
sales.
your career. This is
Yeah,
your first
yeah.
real career.
And honestly, I never planned on leaving. Like I got it, fantastic company, Frito-Lay.
So what was it like driving the chip truck in downtown Toronto?
That was a bitch, man. I got in a fight with a biker gang. I kid you not, man. They were like there was 4 of them. They were on 10 speeds, but I almost got in a fight with them, man. They
Those
started.
are not bikers.
Hey, they were on bikes, and there was 4 of them, so it's a gang. That constitutes a gang. The guy, you know how it is in Toronto, right? Like I'm doing Gerard and Jarvis. I'm right by the Hooker Harveys down there kind of thing, right? I'm pulling out of an alley to try to get across another alley, and the bikes ride by, and I'm just slightly blocking the bike lane, and there's like no traffic. It's 11 a.m. or something like that, and the guy punches my window and starts swearing at me. So I got out of my truck, and I was like, let's go, right? And I was young again. I was only like 23 or 24 there, right? Maybe 25. I don't remember, but yeah. So that was a great job, though, man. A really good job. And
Did you ever have like people knocking on your, like banging on the truck for free chips?
oh
or anything?
yeah. Yeah. So I also did because I did a lot of those areas. There was a lot of crack houses and things like that. I remember I'd get out of the back of the alleys. There'd be used condoms in the alleys, syringes. One guy covered my shift one time for me, and he said he saw a hooker giving a guy a blowjob at 7 a.m. in an alley. But it was like The Walking Dead, man. I remember one time because you get stales and you're supposed to bring them back and give them to a farm, but there's poor people down there, right? They want the chips, so chips are a couple days stale. So sometimes I just like throw a case at the back of the truck,
like
Well,
scrambles.
I would just open the truck. I'd open the doors. I'd throw the case out. Then I'd start doing my thing. And then when I open the doors up again, the chips are gone. Right? But then the problem is, it's almost like when you feed animals, right? They come back, right? I don't want to call people animals, but it's. And I remember it was like The Walking Dead. I'd roll up and I hear banging, and I look out and like all these people are like banging on the side of the truck, man. I was like, Jesus. So yeah, that was cool. I had a hooker walk into the back of my truck, and her exact line, and I'll never forget it, was, hey, I'm Humpty Dumpty, you Frito-Lay. Yeah, so I threw her a bag of chips and told her to get out. Yeah.
So,
Sooner or later, you got into the cigar business.
That's right. Yeah. I did that for 1.5 years.
hey Gary, remember I said about that commercial break?
Yes,
Yeah,
forget it. No. This reminds me of my neighborhood back home.
I was going to say, this sounds like home.
Yeah,
to you,
yeah, it
doesn't
just
it?
sounds
Shit,
like
eh?
home to me.
Absolutely.
It's great.
It's good times.
At some point in time, you did get into the cigar business.
I did, yeah. And it was just a random thing. I wasn't even looking for a job.
Well, why would you?
Well, like I said, I got into Frito-Lay, and I loved it, man. It was a great job. Going from working behind a computer talking to people. I mean, we've all called the customer service line. Nobody calls customer service to say you guys are doing a bang up job. It's because something's wrong. So you get yelled at all day long.
That ain't a good
Yeah, and it was what it was. So suddenly I'm on my own. I talk to my boss like once a week, and you just go and you do your own thing, right? And you're in charge of your own territory, and it was fantastic. And anyways, I remember I was my mother. I was in the kitchen with my mom. She was flipping through the newspaper, and she saw House of Horvath ad in there, and the name clicked a bell. So she asked my dad, and he said, "Oh, our friend Phil works there. You guys know Phil from Montreal, right?"
Oh, yeah.
So I've known Phil since I was 15 or 16 years old because he used to work with my dad years ago doing sales in a different company. So I thought, my dad basically said, he loves it. Why don't you look at that? So I thought, yeah, why not? I've smoked a cigar or two. It sounds like a cool thing. And put it in, went down, had the interview, met the guys. And from what I understand, Phil put in a good word for me. And, 10.5 years later, here I am.
So what's it like? I'm just curious, as cigar store owners, it's, we get a certain, family functions, or, you're out golfing with the guys, there's certain expectations. As a person who's, at that supplier level, what's, you must just drive around with a truck full of cigars just to hand out like candy to everybody. Is that how it works?
That's what people think.
Is that how it
Oh
works?
my God! The first question I get is, hey, what do you do for a living? You meet someone, I sell cigars. Oh, really? Can you get me some? And I'm thinking, you know what? it's like you walk to a banker, give me some money, right? Like that's the thing. You guys probably run into it, right?
Yeah.
Owning a cigar store, and yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
So let's talk EPL for a second.
Oh yeah.
I know that you're a huge Manchester United fan.
Fuck
What?
them.
Juventus? Juventus.
No,
Juventus is in a wrong league.
Yeah, it's a wrong league. It's
It's a
okay.
wrong league. It's an uncompetitive league.
That's right. Uncompetitive league.
Hey, you want me to go? I'll go, man. There's only one competitive league, and it's the EPL. I'm just saying, Juventus 5 years in a row without without any challengers, really. I mean, fine, Napoli or Roma are a little bit there, but they're winning with like 5 games in hand. Maybe not this season, but they'll probably still take it. Bayern Munich, every year in the EPL, who's going to take it? There's a couple handful of guys. Every year, Bayern Munich takes it, and they seem to win it earlier and earlier. I think they won it with like 11 games in hand last year. It's baloney. Real Madrid and Barcelona. Not only are they most expensive teams in the world, but, other than Atletico Madrid, there's 17 other useless teams in that league that really can't challenge for the top. I mean, they're great teams still, but if Real Madrid was in the Premier League, they would still win it here and there, but they wouldn't win it every year, or Barcelona would.
EPL is a very competitive league.
It is, yeah.
And I joke you are a huge Chelsea fan.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bournemouth, though, you got a soft spot for Bournemouth. Come on.
I do. You know what? I was cheering for you guys today, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? I watch a lot of football-related news, like soccer, right? And actually, they were talking about Bournemouth. They're saying this year might be the first time in over 10 or 15 years that all 3 promoted teams are looking like there's a solid chance they're going to stay in the Premier League.
That's right. Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, Bournemouth they started the season rough, but they had a good surge there. I mean, they beat Chelsea. It was an offside goal, shouldn't have counted, but they beat Chelsea. But a week later they beat Man U 2-0. And I think I told you there's a great story. One of the guys that played, his wife was pregnant, had the baby like 3 days before that game. Baby died in birth. The guy still told them, I'm coming out. I want to play, and he had a game of his life, man. It's fantastic. It's a good story. Right?
They got some
guys.
heart.
Yeah.
They got some heart.
They
That's
do,
for
man.
Sure.
Yeah. There's a reason that they were one day basically. They're on the 11th hour of complete bankruptcy, folding as a club.
Mm-hmm.
One investor, and every year they advanced from the 4th tier right into the Premier League. So
it's a huge accomplishment.
It is.
I mean, I think at some point they were doing actually bake sales to get that team to stay alive. Yeah.
And they just signed their record signing, I think. Right. Yeah. I don't know how much they paid, probably like $1 million for him or something. But I kid you not, when Chelsea played Bournemouth, Diego Costa, our striker, cost more than their entire squad.
That's insane, isn't it?
I remember last year when Leicester played Manchester United, they said, Man U paid $70 million for Di Maria. And in the history of Leicester Football Club, they had never spent up to $70 million.
It's crazy.
Period.
My Uncle Jack took his sons to go to the Bournemouth versus Arsenal game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So because they've been lifelong fans. If those guys are listening, love you guys.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Go Cherries. Let's talk cigars for a minute.
All right.
You guys have had some extremely good luck over the course of the last 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
Nailing like top-rated cigars and number 1 cigars. I mean, you did it again this year. What'd you get?
We got the My Father Le Bijou box press torpedo.
Yeah.
Fantastic cigar.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we've had the Le Bijou in the shop quite a few, for quite a few years now. It's always been one of my personal favorites.
I love that cigar.
Yeah, rich, fantastic. I don't know what it is with that wrapper leaf, but man, it just such a rich
smells like
smoke.
chocolate.
Yeah, it's just
smells like dark chocolate.
Absolutely.
It's honestly one of my favorite cigars that we carry. I haven't smoked the box press torpedo, but I mean the Toro or the Gran Robusto. That cigar is honestly one of my favorite cigars that we actually carry. It's an amazing cigar.
So I think we grilled Les on this. Was it Les we grilled on this, or I think it was Les or Paolo or something? I can't remember who it was, but we're looking at possibly in the next couple of months we might be seeing some of the number 1 cigar.
Hopefully, yeah. I know the day it was announced, Les was on the phone with the Garcias and trying to get them in here. So, but obviously every other market was also on the phone with the Garcias, right? I mean, that cigar was already in the U.S. and so hopefully that won't be too bad. But I mean, the U.S. sucks up a lot of stuff, right?
They do. So. They do. Yeah, and I mean, you get an instant backlog, and
that's right.
It's just the way it is with number 1 cigar, right?
That's right.
Well, what did they tell us? Was it the folks at Firm? It was when Florida Los Antillos, when the Garcias had that cigar. Was it 6,000 boxes?
Yeah.
They were back ordered the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
The moment that it was announced, it was Cigar of the Year.
There's actually a really good article in the recent Cigar Aficionado about Alan, talking with Alan Rubin, an interview with him, and what the ramifications were afterwards of getting #1 cigar with the prints on. It's a really good article. You should check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now there's other lists too. You were saying that you've got another cigar list. Was it Cigar Snob?
Cigar Snob. Yeah, we got another Garcia cigar. The my father El Centurion, Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I mean,
Again, we don't have it in stock, but
yeah. You know what? I'd possibly get it in the shop.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Les has probably been back on the phone.
Yeah,
with
because you do
Garcias.
have the regular El Centurions, and
That's right.
it's a terrific smoke
It is a
as
good
well.
smoke as well. Yeah.
Let's talk on a personal level, as far as not anything personal, but cigar wise.
All right.
Just get weird otherwise. You must have you got a favorite cigar that you smoked last year? If you can sort of pinpoint anything.
Yeah, you know what? There is. Probably happened when we were on the. I smoked it before that, but I mean, when we went to the Drew Estate Safari, you know, I mean, they make some fantastic stuff. You know, the UF13 is a fantastic smoke. The Liga Privada #9 is a fantastic smoke. The T52 is one of my favorites. But for me, I don't know what it is about this cigar. The Mayuzi weighs a ton.
Yeah,
I love that cigar, man. I don't know what it is about. I don't know if it's just the how much smoke it puts off, the flavor. You know, it's just a fantastic smoke. It's one of my favorite cigars that I smoked. Yeah.
Well, I always found that entire repertoire, from the undercrowns to all the ones that you mentioned, just smoky as hell. This is the wrapper leaf, eh? Has to be the wrapper leaf.
The sleeper out of all of them, I still say, is the Tobacco Special.
Oh,
I never thought I would like that cigar.
I didn't even smoke it when I was at.
I was like, ew, it's
I didn't
infused.
even smoke
I don't
it
want that
until Fabian said to us, "You got to smoke this cigar." So we sat down. Everyone sat down and smoked one.
Oh my Lord!
And it was life changing.
It was like a cappuccino in your mouth.
Yeah,
it was
and
awesome.
yet the entire cigar completely changed in complexity to the end. It was like you were smoking just a regular cigar, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great smoke.
Yeah, really is.
Yeah.
What's the Liga story? I mean, with the undercrowns and all that. You know the.
I do, yeah. So basically, Liga #9. So when Drew Estates first started making cigars, the acid is their big cigar, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to do this really quickly. Basically, I can't remember the guy's name, unfortunately. Fabian, hopefully, isn't listening. Basically, I think it was their CEO or their president. He didn't like smoking infused cigars, so he didn't smoke the acid. And anytime he was somewhere, people asked him, and he said, "Well, I don't smoke the cigar." So he didn't smoke a cigar that the company he worked for actually made. So they made the Liga Privada #9, basically. I think they made like 60 blends. The #9 is what he picked. Liga Privada in Spanish, I think, means private blend.
Yes.
De nada. Anyway, basically, so the #9 was his, and they only rolled it for him. And he would go and he started giving them out to people, and people started loving it. So they got a bit of a demand for it, so they started making it. Mm-hmm. The way the underground came about, basically, was if you work for Drew Estates, while you're at work, you can smoke any cigar you want. And, of course, everybody was smoking the Liga Privada #9 because it is a fantastic smoke. I think it just hit number 10 on the Cigar Aficionado Cigar of the Year, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Basically, so what they did is they said, their accountant looked at it and said, well, we're making, X amount of sticks and we're only making X amount of dollars because everybody was smoking them. They weren't selling them. So they made a rule that you can't smoke the #9. They almost had a revolt in the factories. So they said, let's have the factory workers blend a cigar for us. And that's where the underground came about. After so many blends, that cigar came up. They tried it and they thought, wow, this is a fantastic cigar. And they started smoking that. So it kind of became a cigar by the people for the people, as they like to say. Mm-hmm. And that's how and that is a fantastic cigar. Yeah,
it is. There's a great story about that cigar too, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, we had a fantastic time with you guys down at that Cigar Safari. That was just, I think that we really need to state that the reason that we have our theme song by Metallica is the fact that we sat there with many a drink under our belt, smoking cigars and watching Simon do karaoke to Metallica numerous times.
I did the other Metallica Cigar song. I think Jew actually sang that song though, man. I think it was you.
I might have done that one.
First song ever, this guy, man, Radiohead.
No, Radiohead.
Radio's
Creep.
First song ever.
First song you ever karaoke.
What a great time, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love that. Last time I did karaoke was with you guys down there.
And Fabian's down in Nicaragua now. I just saw on Facebook. They have a group of Australians there.
Oh, shit.
So, good day, mate.
Hello, mate.
All the way in Nicaragua.
Hello, we're throwing another ship on the barbie.
I don't think that's quite Australian.
Hey, it sounds like Australian to me.
Say hi to the Bruces.
Aye, laddie. That's the Irish sort of.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's like my Jamaican mon. Hey, mon.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah, that's right. So you must drive around a lot in that old beater of a car that House of Horvath gives you, right?
Yeah, not bad now that I live in Oshawa, but when I first started, I did two territories.
Yeah, just a sec. Isn't that weird that he
lives
in
in
Oshawa,
and yet we only see him.
Our shop is in Oshawa
every 18 months.
Yeah, like once a
It's
year.
unbelievable.
Once a year to come by to ask if he's got our credit card, our Christmas card ready for him.
Yes.
It's really weird.
It's true. I had to GPS your store on the way there today. I didn't know you guys were only 7 minutes from my house. It's amazing.
That's astonishing.
Brutal. So driving around, there must be some sort of certain areas where there's just a go-to restaurant all the time that you just you gotta stop at.
You know what, man? I usually just eat in the car. I bring like protein bars or something like that with me, and I eat in the car. I rarely stop.
Well, I can see that. I mean, Simon is one of his stature is. How do you pronounce that? Like, what's the word we're looking for?
Svelte.
Yeah, big boned, husky.
Big boned.
A shopping husky catalog. That's right.
Husky. Yeah, hey.
I wasn't always husky, man. When I started this here, I was 193 pounds. I'm
lot
probably 275-ish right
There's
now.
a lot more than protein bars going on here.
Hey, man.
He
Occasional
dusted
Big
2
Mac.
pounds of wings with one hand tonight, in like 3 minutes. I'm pretty sure 3 minutes.
Absolutely.
And about 6 Guinness.
And then complained while we were 2 minutes away from the station here, which would mean we were 3 minutes away from the restaurant, that he was hungry. And could handle a slice of pizza.
You pig!
Hey, you got to feed the machine.
Right. The machine, yeah. Oh, shit. We got to go through a few things. Sorry.
Yeah, we better get it.
Yeah, we better
get a couple of things.
Oh, snap.
Hold that thought.
That's right. Whatever you wanted to say. Zip it.
I don't talk much.
Not at all. Victory Cigars events. This is where you say...
Get a pencil to jot these down. Did I miss my cue?
Oh, my God.
Damn.
30 shows we've been doing this.
Go ahead.
Get your pencil.
I was pulling your chain.
Yeah. This week, Cigar of the Week is the OSA 54 by CAO. Fantastic little Toro, $9.99. Get in the shop. Check it out. It's a great deal on that cigar. We set up a few events. One of the, starting in February, one of our events is going to be a wine tasting event with the what's it called? The Vine Agency.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a group that, you all the stuff that you can't get at the LCBO, that the communists keep hold of, the entire thing there.
Yes.
This is actually some fantastic wines and stuff that, if you'd like to get a hold of, we'll talk to them and you can come in and do the tasting. It's going to be fantastic. Saturday, February 27th, 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock. We just got some new stuff in. Di, way to go! You pulled a fast one there and did some buying in January when we didn't really want you to, but
Yeah, we didn't notice.
that's right.
She asked on New Year's Day.
That's right. Sure, go right ahead. New beard oils by the company's called Mammoth Beard Oil Company. They're out of Calgary, I believe, aren't they?
I believe so.
Yeah, so we got some fantastic new beard oils, tons of different scents, fragrances. Come on in and check it out. Cigar Scene Happenings. Go, Jew, go!
Well, as we mentioned last week, the Ontario flavor ban took effect on January 1st, 2016. However, this will be overlapping with the federal flavor ban, and consequently, there will not really be any change compared to what already happened on December 14th of 2015. So a lot of stuff is getting reformatted too, so stay in contact with your tobacconists because it looks like some of these flavors are getting reconstituted and brought back in slightly larger formats that are compliant. Some big news for Canadian cigar travelers who like going to U.S. events. Cigarnival 2016 has been canceled. Don't know the reasons behind it, but Facebook was lit up and a lot of unhappy people out there. So come on north for your own Canadian cigar experience and stay home because you can't afford the exchange rate anyway.
That's right.
And lastly, a shout out to the Ottawa Cigar Emporium at 110 Clarence Street in Ottawa, right inside the Byward Market. If you want to visit them on the web, www.ottawacigar.com. So next time you're in our nation's capital, go and see what they have at the Ottawa Cigar Emporium. Back to you, Kevin.
Beauty McGoody. Back with Simon here for a couple of quick last questions here. We're running late again, as usual. But you ever been in a rock band?
I have, yes.
Really?
Yeah,
What was the name of the band?
A few, but my last one, we were originally called Gutter Snipe. We ended up changing the name because there's a lot of bands called Gutter Snipe to, I believe it was With Authority.
Okay.
Yeah,
What instrument?
I was the drummer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And singer?
No, I have a horrible singing voice.
Yeah, I know. Got a favorite movie these days?
Yeah, it's been the same one for over 20 years, man. Army of Darkness with Bruce Campbell.
There you go. There you go. You're a pig, sort of a zombie slash.
Man, it's Deadites, baby.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Evil
right.
Dead, man.
Love that stuff,
Yeah.
don't you? Yeah, absolutely. Well, Simon, I got to say thank you very much for taking the time to come in and host the show with us. You know, it's been a lot of fun. Be sure to see our shop at some point in time, 7 minutes away, remember?
I was thinking maybe, I was there today, so maybe December.
Yeah, Christmas ought to
Something like
work.
that.
That'd be good.
Yeah, Christmas ought to work. Anything new? Anything going on at House of Horvath we should know about?
Nothing.
You got a new small format? You got your small format
Oh, yeah,
stuff?
of course. Our
Let me help you out
my
there.
brain isn't working. Yeah, all of our new our flavor band items, which are our new pom-poms.
Yep.
We have 3 new SKUs of pom-pom. We have 6 new SKUs of Blackstone, which is a pipe tobacco, cigarillo,
Okay.
port flavor, and original. Yeah, fantastic.
Is all that shipping like already to tobacconists?
That's
So
right. Yeah.
Perfect.
That'll
So-
be right there.
Yeah, so go into your local tobacconist and support that bricks and mortar.
Is your wife listening tonight?
I don't know if she's listening right now. She's going to be listening after.
Do you think you should give her a shout out, maybe?
I love you, Liz, and Zoe, my daughter.
There you go. Thought it was his mistress or something.
Yeah, no, my wife's taking care of my 2-year-old. So.
There you go. Snap. Next week's guest.
Oh, I can't wait. We have the lady herself, the Robusto Babe on Twitter. At Robusto Babe is going to be on the show talking with us from the United States and telling us all about her top 25 list.
She loves that one.
I love her.
Absolutely.
She's the best.
Oh, she's been in the shop. She's a great
Yeah,
girl.
she's
She's
fantastic.
awesome, you know. And
She's fantastic.
Just a maven at social media.
Oh, isn't she?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, Simon, thank you very much for your time and your graciousness of gracing us with your gracious presence.
Thanks, guys.
Just letting everybody know that you were listening to the Canadian Cigar Scene on realityradio101.com. It is now time to have a cigar.
You've been listening to Canadian Cigar Scene with your hosts Kevin Newell and Julian Luke right here on Reality Radio 101.